Guys, Mr. Bowman here. Today's video is a little bit different. We're trying to discuss and try to understand why x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So I've got that there in the middle of our screen already. And before we start, I want you to grab out your calculator, pause the video if you need to, but if you put in 3 to the power of 0, your calculator is going to tell you that's 1. And again, if you did 9 to the power of 0, even though 9 is a lot bigger than 1, a lot bigger than 3, it's still going to tell you that the answer is 1. And let's say we really took it to the next level. Let's say we took it to 1,000,000 and we did that to the power of 0. And that's huge, but the number is still 1. And what we're going to do today is we're just going to chat about why that is. Why is anything to the power of 0 always going to be equal to 1? Okay, so to understand this, we're going to be looking at two things. We're going to be looking at some basic division. And I can't emphasize how basic that division is actually going to be. And we're also going to look at some of the indice rules. And then by linking these concepts together, we should get a really good understanding or a real good proof as to why anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So my first step, we're going to look at this basic division. And what I'm going to do, using the numbers before, I'm going to ask you, well, what is 3 divided by 3? And hopefully you're going to get that as 1. You can check that on your calculator if you need to. But any number divided by the same thing is going to be equal to 1. And if we did that with our 9, so 9 over 9, we're going to get the same result. And again, with our million, if we did 1,000,000 divided by 1,000,000, you're going to get the same answer. That is going to come up to 1. So I'm just going to emphasize it's the same thing, same over same, will get you to an answer of 1. Let's now get a bit algebraically. So we're moving away from division. Let's get into some indice rules. And the rule I want to look at is x to the power of a divided by x to the power of b. And hopefully we're all pretty happy that that would become xa minus b. So we just really subtract the powers to find out the total of x. And if we apply that to a certain number of questions, so let's say you got x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 7, we're going to go x to the power of 7 minus 7, which is going to get us to x to the power of 0. And I really find that interesting because x to the power of 0 is the focus of this video. So why is that equal to 1? And I'm just going to switch pen colors and I'm just going to link something from our two arguments. So same divided by same, and our initial step x7 divided by x7. So x to the power of 7, x to the power of 7, they're this exact same thing. So we know the same number divided by itself is going to be equal to 1. So we know that x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 7 is equal to 1. We also know that x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 7 is equal to x to the power of 0. And by that logic, if we merge these together, we can conclude, so therefore, x to the power of 0, which is from the right-hand side, is going to be equal to 1, which is from the left-hand side. So hopefully that made sense. So we just use some real basic division and some real basic indice rules to demonstrate why x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. A lot of us just memorize the rule and take it a bit for granted, but hopefully you understand why and you can apply that in your maths.